Why not start time-intensive, labor-intensive projects? Yeah, that'll be great. Do what?
What could be the downside?
I don't know. I'm also wondering if, since I missed a day, YouTube just isn't going to tell anybody that the live stream's going.
I haven't got a notification yet.
Are you able to... Hey, Yvonne! Yvonne or Wivani or... Hey, Fortune. Hey, Patricia. It's great to see y'all. So, and Laura, guys, I'm so sorry that I missed Tuesday. It was... I do best when there's a lot, and I worry myself sick over it. Yay! Wait, how do I get to Skype? There it is. I found it. How do they see what?
I'm glad people can see it.
Guys have any questions? Oh, Buffer, I have no idea what you needed. No, I was just saying, hey, Laura. Sorry.
No, I was just saying, hey.
Ah! Is that what I sound like? Oh. Randy's sound is on. Oh, I know why it's buffering. I fixed it. Is that better? Yeah.
What a buffering face.
Even Laura was like, is your phone on house internet? What was it? Was it just me look? Yeah. Okay. Guys, I was on the house internet instead of talking to space. So.
And that's why we don't Twitch.
And that's why we don't Twitch stream. Hey Valerie, she said, so I made a leather bralette vest thing. It came out pretty good. Can't stay here. Get back to work. Ah, well, thanks for popping in. Yeah, I don't know. It got hot and I stopped wearing mine because I was like, free the tatas all the way. Like, this isn't even free range anymore. I just let them loose. It's my first time catching your live stream and I like, no, Morgan, we just got started. We're literally like 3 minutes in. I start.
The first 3 minutes.
No, that was super buffery. My bad. Hey, Pool Pro. Right on, Kelly. Ooh, coffee. Also, not gonna lie, I woke up about half an hour ago. Actually, I woke up 45 minutes ago, so I got out of bed. Cheers, y'all. Thank you for joining me today. Christy, I'm feeling a lot better. I want to show y'all all the stuff that we got made. Because it's, I don't know, like, I was super stressed, had like a meltdown and like ugly cried on Randy, like blew snot bubbles and everything. And he just patted me on the back and he's like, yeah, this happens but once a month during a particular time of the month. And I was like, yeah. And he's like, yeah, you'll be fine, honey. We've got this. So, so we're fine. Everything's fine. So glad you're feeling better, Mr. Smiling Face. Oh, Lori. Grin says, I'm going to Vending at a mermaid festival. There's a mermaid festival next month, and I was wondering if you would be okay with me using a picture of mermaid cosplay as a reference for a painting. Oh my god, please, that would be so cool. I want to see it. Like, that would be so cool, actually. Oh. Hey, Diane, I'm feeling a lot better. Hey, Daniel. Hey, Pam, welcome to your first live chat. Siren and the Pirate, Handmade Jewelry. That's a really cool name. My name is Kelly, and I love your hangouts. I watched 2 of your videos today while I was making jewelry, so I feel like we're besties now. Sup, girl. San Marcos, Texas. Oof. You gotta be a mermaid in this heat to survive. Also, I shipped out a whole bunch of dud boxes, but I was pulling from the wrong bin. This is the dud bin. This is the... So, congratulations, I'm an idiot. But we got a whole bunch of jewelry made. This is all the jewelry that we made that's sitting out waiting to be tagged. First off, I'm going to turn this around. Kelly sees the love evil thing. She says you were coughing so much, thought it might be that. I think it for sure. So we got a bunch of these little dual-sided pendants wrapped. What's up?
You flipped it and it just like pixelated all.
Oh, really?
There it goes.
Laura says, I got my cup turner and I have a new coaster. Janine, Shout out to all my first timers and shout out to all the people who've been here since like the beginning. One of y'all commented the other day, it's like, wow, this is old school Vaughn on like my spiral chain video. And not gonna lie, I think I've changed a bit over the years. That's okay though. But so this is like that's one side of them, and that's the other side. I think I got these in like a strand from Fire Mountain Gems. Now this one, we wanted to get some more showcase pieces up and listed. So this was just a pendant, and I decided to use the same weave that was used in the bail. Tutorial is coming soon, I promise. This was 16 gauge round that I hammered. Would y'all like a tutorial on this? Because it's pretty simple and straightforward. Perfect for beginners, I think. Pi aren't squared, pi are round. Kelly. Right on. But this one, the tutorial is coming soon on this. I think I'm going to reshoot it, though, because I'd shot it not with the voiceover, so now I have to do the voiceover on it, and I'd almost rather just redo it than have to go through and do all the editing. I'm learning things about myself. But yeah, and then a nice little labradorite and Swarovski and seed bead chain. So there's that one. And then in the nature of mass producing handmade things, we got a whole bunch.
You might be better off putting the camera on the tripod and then bringing pieces.
Oh, really?
It's the shaking of the camera.
Gotcha. Okay.
Pixelating it all.
Sorry. Well, thanks for letting me know. I really appreciate that feedback. Okay, there we go. Yeah, sorry, Teresa. It's because I'm throwing the camera around everywhere and the phone's talking to space. So I'll get like an idea or a design. Cool. Excellent. And then I'll make a whole bunch in variations of that design. So I really enjoy these little bee charms that you can see I've wire wrapped to around a hololith, like a little donut bead. And then I just start making gemstone strung chains. And each one comes out just a little different. I mean, the natural variation, even just in the stone, I think makes for a very nice effect. So we got a bunch of these made. I really liked this one. It's a black labradorite, which it doesn't have any flashes in it really, but I really loved it with these faceted onyx and labradorite beads along the neckline. And then here's some green aventurine, just super pretty. Love those faceted beads. And then this is just some hematite on knotted silk. So even if I cut if it broke like right here, I'm not going to lose, I'd only lose one of those beads, or both of them, but the rest would still stay strung up. And I just thought that was really nice. And this is genuine hematite. It's not the Hemalike, which is a lab-created version. It's a lot more affordable to get the Hemalike, but I just love the hematite because some of them will have like natural like pittings and poxes and stuff. This one I actually posted to Instagram yesterday. You can see strung beads and crystals along the neckline, a little bit of chainmail, just something nice and simple. But I was making like at least 5 of every design, trying to. These ones I'm really excited about. They're just some of like Angel Aura quartz crystal. We got 5 of those made in different lengths and just good fun. And then these. You
ever used blue?
I haven't. That sounds really cool though. Now these are some pendants that I'd actually made back in 2015. It's signed Randy Vaughn 15. So the pendants had been in our booth for 4 years, you guys, and nobody wanted them, I guess, or they just never got displayed is more likely. So we had a lot of them. Some of them might have not made it into the rotation, but I thought it would look really nice to go ahead and string up matching necklaces. And then all of this we made like Monday and Tuesday. So we were pretty excited. Now that I had wrapped prior, it's one of our Better Than Anthrax Ammonites from Jim.
Yeah, I did the name for it.
Yeah, because I opened it. I don't know. I was being silly. You know, I say just whatever comes into my head. But just some wire wrapped bead links to match that. Here is another style, wire wrapped with those Tila beads. Hematite's so shiny, like, hey guys, you can see me waving in the hematite. Have any Viking stuff coming up? I hope so. That's another one that the pendant itself was from 2015. Like, I'd actually done a tutorial on that style. With some nice turquoise, and then along the neckline is a moss agate and tree agate. Ooh, we got a tangle. What is this always happen? That was hematite. Hematite all along the neckline with that one too. Now here we have a much smaller. Now that's the back side. It's still pretty though. There's the front. Come on, don't be blurry, camera. Why for you do that? And then along the neckline, we have more labradorite and just some little delica seed beads. And then I finished it off with some enameled chain. These ones are also from the tutorial that I had done back in like February. Finally got some necklaces stranded up for them because it's just some of the stuff, if it's too big, it won't display well on our pendant display. And also our showcase display looks so picked over right now. So here is another one. I love these tones of blue. In this summer heat, I've been like obsessed, mildly obsessed with it. Okay. Compelled. So here's a nice one with freshwater pearls from Jim. That is also reversible. For if you want something lighter or something a little darker. These guys I actually scavenged off of my Etsy shop because nobody had bought them. So I was like, I need inventory for dragons. So I just took mechanized chain and just added in some little links. Because sometimes you want something more delicate. And I have 2 of those. They're sister pieces. Anything that survives dragon might be going back up on Etsy because I don't know when actually our next vending event is. If not, you know, just dragon again. I think we may make the transition to just fully online sales. But we will see. This is a little wire wrapped and electroformed. Just with some really pretty like copper and glassy beads. And then this one was the very first soldered piece that I had done. Just with some more copper and labradorite along the neckline. So that's, wow, it doesn't feel like a lot after we've gone through it. What's up, bud?
And he says, good job. I didn't win the lottery, but Randy and Vaughn would never have any fun inventory.
Aw, honey. Gwen says, have you tried spraying rubbing alcohol on your resin pieces to remove some of the bubbling? I haven't. I'm gonna have to try that, like out of just a regular spritzer. Ooh, I remember I left my coffee over here. Okay, and we're back over here to the leatherworking area. Something that's been going on with leather is nothing. I haven't been working on leather in a minute, but you can notice I have a clean finger, and if I touch my leather like this, and that is a huge problem because this is the inside of the leather. And Randy even warned me, and I did heed your warning, Randy. I tried to apply it very sparingly, but this EcoFlow oil-based black dye that we got for like a half-gallon bottle for $5. We got like 4 of them. It takes forever to dry, which is actually a nightmare. So because we have a week and a half, and Randy was like, are you sure you want to use something that's going to take a long time to dry on a project that is under a time crunch? And I was like, what? Yeah, this will be fine.
Why would
Well, Randy, you were right.
Is there going to be a tutorial on doing the necklace thing with all the beads?
Yeah. I actually, again, it's another case where I have one shot. I've done some before, though, I think. But I had gotten like 5 or 6 tutorials shot, but it's when I was coughing a lot. And I didn't do a voiceover on them. So now I have to go back through and do the voiceover, but I shot them so long ago that I'm just going to have to completely rewatch them and like, hey, Wild says watch your videos all the time. First time sending a chat. Hello and love your work. Right on. It's always nice to meet another jewelry maker. If you have a dehumidifier, you can put it in a closet and it should help the drying. Also have the heat up too. Ooh, that is a good idea. But I think I might have just over applied it because what I did on the front is I went through with some Aussie wax. Ooh, which is got Aussie wax all over the outside of it. And just some denim. And I just rubbed the heck out of it and like removed the excess. So we are going to be don't say it. We're going to be rubbing some stuff in today's live stream. So let's get the little tripod set up. I'm going to keep answering y'all's questions. And if this doesn't work, we probably will be using a hairdryer. So but yeah, just a little bit of Aussie wax to start with. Off the wall question real quick. Have you gotten the Patreon sent off? Because I haven't gotten mine yet. Hey, Pinky. No, we're actually going to be, excuse me. Randy and I start sending that out on the 15th now. So, and today is the 15th. So we're going to be sending out, see how much that's pulling off? Oof. So yours will get shipped out over the next couple of days. And I really do recommend to anybody that if you're like, if you live in an apartment and the mailman always puts your stuff like just kind of chunks it up onto the porch where anybody could take it. And so you want to keep really close track. I recommend if you're in the US signing up for UPS or USPS informed delivery because they'll just send you emails every time anybody sends you something. So that's pretty cool. So I think I'm going to go through and by doing this hand burnishing, you can see it's really shining it up. Ah, right on. Allison says, finally signed up to do a craft fair. Oh, that's so exciting. When is it? Like, how long do you have to prep? But by going through with the denim and the Aussie wax, it's kind of burnishing closed the pores of the leather. Also, there's like some sort of jungle bug in here. I have a relatively clean finger. When I come in and press... Oh, God, no, it's not helping at all. Oh... Pourquoi? What do I do? Okay, so before I make myself all tired just rubbing this, don't panic, don't panic, don't panic. I don't know. I may just need to rub the heck out of it a whole bunch. Isn't there some kind of like mechanical rubber that we could use that like just like a buffing machine? That would make it nice and shiny though, but I am going to have to get this completely like taken care of though. And I also think just a very, very like generous couple of layers of like acrylic super sheen or acrylic resin will do the trick also. But look at the other side of this corset. Yeah, right? Hey Naomi, I'm trying to see how this is the inside of this. I used a new brand of, well, new to me at least, brand of, yeah, Rachel, right? I used EcoFlow oil-based dye instead of the fibings that I usually use. You can get those sanding machines and put a buffing plate on it. I think I might do that. But it's the inside of the corset, and I need it to not be leaving this black all over everything, because what if somebody wants to wear it over anything? So now it's really nice though, because I did You can see nothing on that side. And on this side, granted it was the flesh side, not the grain side, or I don't know. It's the not the what's the term, you guys? Help me. My brain is farting itself to death. This is the top side of the leather, not the inside. But yeah. Yeah, it is. This is veg tanned. Would sealer just take care of that? Because I've never had this problem with any of the other, yeah, the flesh side.
I've never had this problem.
I swear this never happens. Meanwhile, I'm here like, maybe if we just rub it harder, it'll be fine. Why couldn't you try alcohol on it in a small place and see if that takes it off? Maybe. I do have some rubbing alcohol here by me. Go back to the jungle, bug! You are loud and freaking me out. Please don't fly in my face. Because I can't find it. And it sounds like the predator. Of course, as soon as I say that, it quiets back down. I actually think it's just a grasshopper, but... Don't... You hear that, don't you? Don't mess with me. If I'm insane, you have to tell me. Oh no. Never mind. I'm just insane. Oh, I have no idea. Because see, it's taking off progressively less. I think I am going to go ahead and grease all these up. Well, they're crazy with me, hun. Okay, let's see. So this is, not going to lie, guys, this is basically what I'm going to be spending my day on. Thanks, Quinn. Excuse me. But yeah, this was a dry brushing of the jacquard, right? Of the Lumiere paints by Jacquard. Now, I do need to go ahead and go through. Where's my edge slicker? You can yell as loud as you want. There it is. Yeah, we were watching some show on Netflix that Randy had found. And there was a scene where it was a pretty terrible show, but there was a scene where one of the people was like, the screaming won't help you. And so in my head, this bug's in here going, like, doing its like noise either for like territory or mating or what. And just Hannibal Lecter, like Von Lecter in my head. It's like, the screaming won't help you. I need to get out more. Ooh, what's that? Naomi says, if it's veggie leather, try not to test beat and heat it with your heat gun. Too much heat will melt and warp, but a little might seal it. That's a really good idea. That's a really, really good idea, actually. So now I'm going through, while it's still kind of oily with the Aussie wax, and just slicking those edges down. Yeah, if you're getting into leatherworking, I really recommend an investment in vegetable tanned leather because within, some confines, you can do stuff with veg tanned that you just cannot do with chrome or oil tanned leather, like the tooling and stuff. But you can make veg tanned feel and seem like these other types of leathers, within, again, varying degrees of success. But it's pretty fun. Scored some knitting needles for 50 cents each. Nice. Yeah, those are perfect for mandrels. Oh, it knows too much. I was hoping it was another word for PU leather. Now, keep in mind, these are a byproduct. Waste not, want not. And leather, unlike a lot of pleathers and plastic-based materials, does decompose. So while it does, yeah, it biodegrades. But also, I don't know about y'all, but my leather hiking boots have lasted me so much longer than my pleather daywear boots that after about 6 months, it started like peeling off and stuff. So, I don't know, I'm not going to get too much into it right now because I feel like there's no like clean way to like just make it perfect. But I feel like the longevity of leather pieces in combination with their ability to decompose so they aren't permanently displacing kind of offsets that it did cost a life. And also, anytime that I'm able to make sure that what I'm getting is humanely sourced makes a huge difference to me as well. But I don't know, I kind of feel like ever since they started putting the all natural on like Mountain Dew and stuff, it's like unless I get to go and actually like see it in person or have my own hand in it, I kind of take every time people are like, oh yeah, this is humane. I'm like, uh-huh. I take it with a grain of salt, but this is through Tandy Leather, yeah, and you can actually talk to them about their suppliers. Depending on your manager and stuff, you'll be able to go in and talk to them and find out. And if they don't know where their hides are from, I know Tim with the Springfield Tandy Leather is very knowledgeable, and he directs me and other folks to tanneries that do make sure that all of their stuff is humanely sourced, as well as have much higher regulations. That's the word. I was like reinforcements, no, regulations on how they dispose of any chemicals or anything used in the tanning process. So Morgan says, I'm trying to source chain for bracelets so I don't just make wire bracelets, and I haven't been able to find anything at the craft stores that says nickel and lead free. Have any supplier suggestions? I purchase all of my chain from the ringlord.com and Fire Mountain Gems. If I'm not coiling and cutting the rings myself to make like chainmail. Let's see. My hands are all dirty now, but that actually, once the Aussie wax is soaked in, it's not, I already got my fingers all dirty, but just rubbing my hand on it, I think that's going to work. Just burnishing it down with the Aussie wax. So let's get this flipped around. There we are. Guys. Because I want to answer some of y'all's questions again, and then I can just sit here and kind of like rub on this while we talk. Oh, I tightened that too much. Do you want love?
Huh?
I thought you'd said something.
No,
Have you been sending me questions? Okay. Well, I have that pulled up if you want to do that. Okay. So, hey Heavens, I'm feeling a lot better. I really appreciated like all y'all who commented over on Patreon and like sent me like get to feeling better. Like, thank you. That meant a lot to me. What did I do with my Aussie wax? There it is.
Oh God.
What? Where'd it go? Also, I want to show y'all my view today. Which, this is laminating paper. Like, laminate sheets. And with alcohol ink that I was going to make stuff out of, but it's just pretty, so I leave it in the window. And then Bob the Skull over here looks super emo with his bangs of plant. Yeah, with his grass hair. Oh, thank you, Susan. I'm not gonna lie, y'all inspire me a lot. See, since the clay wasn't dry and the SV might have...
Out of curiosity, how many people understand the reference of Bob the Skull?
Yeah, any other Dresden fans here? I'll be right back. I'm gonna... Oh, sorry. So this is how the skull came out. I know, I couldn't resist. I put flowers on it. So I'm really pleased with that. We cut these out with using foam on our Cricut, which is a total game changer. Now I'm going to have to, like, we technically gave our Cricut to the lady who house sits for us because she does amazing, like, paper crafting and stuff. But then I'm like, I'm going to use it a bunch because she just keeps it over here.
Like, yeah, I've got no room for it.
She's like, yeah, I have nowhere for it in my house. And I'm like, well, anytime you want to use it, it is right here for you. And I'm actually going to run outside and grab, I have another skull that I want to show y'all. So we have some more horns that got plastic dipped that are going to get attached to a headdress. And then this one, I got to have some fun using freeform air to sculpt using, it's the same kind of base. What did I do with the other one? Yeah, this actually was the base. Like the skull purchased like from like Joann's, that I sculpted this with thermoplastic on top of. But thermoplastic runs the chance of, if I leave it in the car while it's very hot outside, it could melt. Just like deform a little bit, which is still really annoying. So this one, I used the cast, like very lightweight, like plastic skull base, took like a hand saw and sawed off the like back section, and then used the belt sander to shape that down. Put some foam on there, and then actually used screws to screw in the foam, so that way the foam's kind of just sitting on there, but it still fits really nicely. And then we used freeform air to build up his cheekbones and his eyebrow ridges and give him a little like dragon nose. And I'm gonna go through with a red, like a red toned rubbin buff, I think. Well, some of it's already on there, but we'll see how this fits. And then I gotta get it onto my big old noggin. Because I was like, I really want to make more of the Spyro type skulls to sell out of our booth at Dragon. Just kind of, I don't know, this one's a little, it's a work in progress. It is, but I like it. I love them, actually. I love these things. So yeah, so that's something else I've been working on this week. But yeah, I just made the horns and then used hot glue, because hot glue holds on to foam pretty well. It just doesn't hold on to the other things that I'm trying to attach to the hot glue, like glass. Nope. Didn't hold on to glass very well, but just using the hot glue to make the little spirals and stuff, like I tested it and like tried to get my thumbnail under there and like peel it off. And so if these start to come apart, you're gonna really have to be abusing it. Have you ever thought about doing one of those contests, you know, when they have on TV where you get eliminated, etc.? I've considered it very briefly, because I'm not like, I don't know, I'm competitive against myself, because I'm the only one that wins. Like, it's like, I don't like winning if someone else has to be losing, because especially when art is involved, this is so subjective. And that's actually why I stopped competing in costume contests, is because it's like, you know, a person does get a lot of validation out of, you know, in money whenever, you know, the competition's right, out of competing. And it's like, but I have my life and my, you know, my accomplishments, and I have my validation. I don't like going in and winning and seeing these other people that it was like they put in just as much hard work, just as much effort, just as much time and money on their costumes as what I did on mine, but they're crushed. Like, I'm like, I'm not gonna do that to somebody. You know, I don't like whenever I compete and I don't win. You know, like, it feels icky, especially when art is involved. Like, I understand, like, with sports and stuff, like, there's technical things that it's like you get, you know, graded on, and, you know, like, from, like, marching band and, like, scoring points and stuff. Like, I get competing that way, but whenever it's art, I don't think it should be about competition. And a lot of these, I was about to drink my Aussie wax thinking it was my coffee. Okay.
Are talking about that, or?
Huh?
Are you done talking about that?
I don't know. I could just ramble on for ages. What's up?
2 questions. Do you have a tutorial on making the actual skull blanks? I would love to know a good way to make them. And have you ever considered putting combs on the skulls?
Ooh, combs are a really good idea. I would do combs on a custom basis. I usually use elastic because we also sell to gentlemen who oftentimes will have shorter hair, or even for whenever we sell to ladies who have like the undercuts and stuff. If there's no hair for the comb to hold on to, but on a custom basis, if somebody's who's like, yeah, I've got a lot of hair, then yeah, we would do that. And I had put combs on the base of my Capricorn headdress. Now, I do have a video on the concept of doing the skull bases, but they're done on a human skull shape as opposed to the goat skull shape. But it's a very same concept. Okay. Time to... Actually, I do have to do this. I was gonna try to. I'm gonna show you guys this one part because I can do that without doing the rubbing first. Let me get this camera turned around. Also, I'm gonna lie to you guys. I can't say that either. I'll tell you later what I was gonna say, Randy, because I think it's hilarious. But I get very, very happy every time that I see the pegboard in the organization, and I'm like, oh yes, thank God. Because I think, especially those of y'all who've been following for a while, I'm not always the most organized person. I was gonna say moisture and moisture. But that's disgusting. I don't think they can hear me, can they?
Oh yeah, you're talking like right at the phone.
No, I did it like this. Okay, anyways, right? What were we doing? Okay.
Yes, we heard it. Says you
Uh-oh. Well, true story, though. Anyways, moving on. Please don't demonetize me, YouTube. So, I'm making an overbust corset. So, I've taken our regular lines of our Penny. But you can see, maybe, that I am not good at getting stuff to be the same size. So we have some variation that we're going to have to take care of. You can see the bottom isn't lined up. But I took the usual line of the corsets that we make, the underbusts, and have extended them to hopefully also have like a cup. So what I'm going to do for this is I need... yes, typically, sometimes, with like sanding or, sometimes it just takes a little bit of sanding or another layer of resin. So I'm coming in 3/8 of an inch from the edge for our seam allowance, for want of a better word. And now, starting from the tip, I'm going to be coming in 1/2 inch, okay? And now every inch, I'm applying, just doing a little mark. And so this is something that for anybody who has bought or is thinking about buying my corset template, the holes on there, sometimes your leather can stretch and warp and do some weird things whenever you're cutting and dyeing it and tooling. So always mark your own holes independently from where they are on the template, just to accommodate, that natural variation. Ooch! Just poked myself with the thingy. Okay. So now we're going to come through, and this is our next piece. So again, starting from the tip, we're going to come in 1/2 inch and then mark it at 1 inch intervals all the way down. And I just line it up with where the inch mark is there on the cutting mat. Now, I'm in a bit of a hurry to get this one done, because I'm testing out the front of the corset for the first time. So I am going to want to make sure that I do actually have the same numbers. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Woohoo! And I always start from the top. That way things will just be lined up there, and then work my way down to the bottom, and then we'll do like any trimming or anything from there. But I'd rather have a cleaner hem up at the top. Now I am going to need to go through and round these corners. But again, I was going to kind of wait to do that until the corset is assembled, and then I can just kind of slice and shape on my own. And then I'm going to punch these and just line the holes up, put a rivet through, hammer it, line the next two up, put a rivet through, hammer it, and just do that all the way down. And this should accommodate for the different like cupping and stuff. Should, hopefully. Oh my god, I'm such a mess. Oh well. Is the color of the corset a green color or brass? Kind of both. It was done with the blue-green halo shift Lumiere paint, but none of the blue took. It all just came out like this greenish brassy gold, which I really love. I was thinking it would look cool for like a Maleficent costume, maybe. I thought that would be pretty neat. Okay, so now we go through and do that. And I'm not doing rivets down the front and center. I was going to do those swing clasps. Oh, I missed something. Thanks, Margaret. Okay, so now we're coming through again, coming 1/2 inch in. Boop. And then just hitting it at the 1 inch mark. He got hair down to his knees. Got to be good looking 'cause he's so hard to see. Come together. I also always forget which side is the top. I know, Ember. I don't know if this is the right piece. You're so beautiful and I love you. I wonder if I can. She's being so cute, you little feet. I love this cat. I love you. Yeah, shake that tail. Yeah. Do you want up here for a minute? We're gonna hang out with the cat and answer some questions for a minute. Come back, let me love you. There you are. I know. Oh, no. Okay, question time, you guys. Nightbot already subscribed to your channel. Lisa, the Nightbot is actually that's Randy and I set up like, well, Randy actually for me set up like this computer thing that it's actually spamming our own. Gosh, you are molting, girl. Oh, I got further on me. It's spamming our own stuff, so it's just there for people are constantly coming in and out of the chat and stuff. Gosh, you are beautiful. When am I supposed to get any work done? Would you just sit for being so cute?
Is your craft room in a house or a separate area away from your house?
The craft room is our house. 100%. Hey, get your tail out of my coffee. Like, we used to live in a house with furniture, but then we slowly replaced all the couches, everything, with just more craft room. What's in your eye? You're slobbery. You're slobbery little goober.
Is she gonna get dark all over her?
No.
It's probably not good
What's
for her
on
to
your...
look out of her fur.
You okay? What's up?
Put her in Callie's spot.
I don't think she'd enjoy having to jump down from up there. I think she's good right here. Boop. love this cat.
Can I
Okay.
ask a Homer question?
Yes. Does your acrylic paint dry properly on clay? Mine seems to stay tacky. Some paints will stay tacky no matter what I do, but they're fine once I've covered them with either the 2-part resin or the UV resin. What is your source for the chains on your pendants? I get those. Sorry, I'm so covered in like cat fur right now. I love you, but dang. Dag nub. The Ring Lord. I haven't, Teresa. I wonder what's up. The Ring Lord and Fire Mountain Gems are the 2 places that I get all of my chain. Pool Pro says, don't feel bad. My living room has a pool table and my 2-car garage is my cue making shop, and 1 bedroom is off and the other bedroom is crafts. I totally understand, right? Like, not gonna lie, the dream, we actually, one of our good friends is his friends that he was living with, their house is like our dream house. It's kind of the concept.
We could utilize it, but it's not our dream house.
Yeah, well, we have varying levels of dream houses depending on how big of the lottery we win. Like, I think everybody has a lottery dream. I don't know. Dreams are fun to dream, but we could really utilize a house like that. And it's very plausible. Like, it's very possible to be in the realm of what we can afford and what we can make happen. Because I'd like for that to happen, like, by the time we're 40. We'll see, though. But it's a big, like, 2-story barn, just completely open up top, that on one side of it has, it's 1 story tall, and then on top of it there's like stairs that you go up, and it's all like storage and stuff for their, because they run like a family farm. But inside that, like the main building of the barn, inside that is a wood shop, and you go through there, and then on the other side of the wood shop, it's all like one building. There's an off branch that used to be just more like farm storage, that they converted into a very nice like 2-bedroom house, just, and that way it's all connected, but there's some very clear delineation between the barn and the house. And so for us, that would be if we could just have like a small like house with the huge workshop space attached to it, that would be perfect. Or at least better than just being in a house. So, hey Linda, are there any more comics ideas? Oh, I don't know. That was something that we were truly just used as like inspiration based off of it, and then that was other artists and artisans, like people who make their art with words did the comic book thing. So I don't know if anybody wants to make a comic book using our characters as inspiration, do it. I'm thinking of on tutorials in this question. Anything that is adaptable for the purpose? Oh, I feel like that was a partial question. I'm not quite certain. What did you... Okay, I answered that. Hey Patricia, how's it going? Yeah, I don't think I got all of your question there on the last one. I guess I should be working also. I feel classy, covered in paint and broken jumper sweater and greasy hair. Right on, Nina. Yeah, I don't know if this is correct.
Honestly, I'm surprised to see Nina enjoy it.
Oh?
She stayed up so late last night doing a craft.
Yeah? What was that? That would be really cool. I'm doing very well today, Patricia. Okay. Yes, that is the correct piece. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Cool. So I get to mark 15 on this one. Ooh, okay. Right on, Penny. Good luck with your craft show, Allison. We'll see you around. But yeah, Craft-A-Long Con has taken a back burner until after Dragon, but I am considering, once we hear back from the other convention centers and hotels, I'm considering looking at maybe if there are like some out-of-season Girl Scout camps, or just something, you know, it's something with large workshop space, but I don't want people to have to sleep in, like, I used to go to an event called Celebration of Womanhood, and they had cabins there on the premise, but they were not air conditioned. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yeah, they were not air conditioned. Excuse me, getting phlegmy. They didn't have electricity. Like, it was, you were roughing it. And so it's, I think they did have hotels and stuff nearby, but I don't want people to feel like, they're going to be missing out because of, if you have, like, a disability or something. Like, I want everybody to be able to participate. That one cuts really close to the edge. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to beat up a little bit from all of the, from all the holes that I've punched.
You remember how it was last year's party?
What's that?
There was a hashtag after Dragon.
Yeah, everything has... I've tried to be a little bit more chilled out about Dragon Con this year. But we'll see how that works out. Like, I've surrendered myself to it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Well, I think that's that for that side anyhow. Yeah, I'm hoping... Did I do this correctly? I have no idea. Okay. Yeah, well, it's difficult because we had anticipated other vending events between May and now, and we didn't. So, that kind of complicated things, and in which case it's like, do I make stuff all the way back in May and not put it up for sale on our Etsy when we need money? Like, we need to be making sales, so I'm not sure yet how to prioritize what do I make and keep specifically for my booth, and what do I make and put up on our Etsy, to have it may or may not sell. It's just, I don't know. If sales were easy, we'd all be rich, I think. So, or have bigger bead collections. So there's that. But, and also by not prioritizing putting, money into materials for making inventory for Dragon, we've been putting all of our effort into increasing the quality of our Patreon packages. So there's that as well. And it's just, I don't know. There's a lot of things being juggled around, and we're doing our best. But, and also the more time we put into Dragon prep, like the more of the year that we put into it, the more that we kind of have to get out of Dragon. And typically we do pretty well there, but you never know. Like, it's always a bit of a gamble. And so it's like, I don't know how much of my year was worth of work I'm willing to invest into a single event. Because if we only put like a month of hard labor into it, then if we don't do as well, that's okay. We only spent a month on it. Whereas if we spend like 6 months on it and we do the same number as the 1 month worth of work, then suddenly we're like, this is not quite the return that we needed off of that much time and effort and inventory, if that makes sense. What area are you in? Oh, okay, that's to somebody else. Cons vary from year to year, so much to predict how well you do. Yeah, and it's like, because I'm not going to lie, you guys, Tokyo and Tulsa, I'm still hurting. Like, that they had been a show that for a decade we compared other shows to. They were a benchmark. They were, we relied on them. We were like, we had some bills that we were going to get paid off of TNT. And then they go and do this, Hobby Lobby con, like putting the vendors 4 miles away from the main events area. It's like, I don't know what they were thinking.
You say Hobby Lobby. It's not a Hobby.
It was a gutted out, abandoned Hobby Lobby. But it
didn't have walls.
Well, there were walls, there was just no drywall on them. Anyways, it's like, and so now it feels very much like, dang, like, if that happens, I mean, then Santa's not real and pirates are real and like
What about the Easter Bunny?
yeah, what about the Easter Bunny? Like I just my whole world is shaken to the core a little bit and that sounds very dramatic, but I mean, we're in a very real state of having to possibly let go of vending as much in favor of doing something like Craft Along Con where Kelly said, did they ask for feedback? I honestly, what happened, Kelly, some of y'all already know, but for those who don't, Randy and I had paid $750 for a booth, a 10 by 10 booth at Tokyo and Tulsa, which we've paid that in years past, but, you know, we'd go and it would be worth the investment to vend it. And we had paid that at the end of TNT in 2018 under the presumption that we would be in the same venue that we've been in for the past like decade, you know, that we'd be, you know, the same dealer's room. Like there were expectations of more of the same. Then they had changed venues to an area in Broken Arrow in March, which we still had like a month left that we could have gotten a half refund, like we could have gotten half of our what we paid back. But I was like, you know, they've been a really good show. I'm not going to jump ship. And then they changed venues twice more without really notifying. Like, you'd have had to have really closely followed their Facebook page. Hey, Twisted, how's it going? To have found out that they had changed venue. And again, a month prior to the actual event. And I just wanted a dealer's map. Because I'm not going to lie, I was at the point that it's like, so long as they put the dealers in with everything else, even if it turns out to be a total shit show, if they have the vendors in the main area, then we should be able to do okay. They wouldn't even provide a dealer's map. I kept getting the runaround that they were like, oh, we're going to be sending out an email dealing with this, you know, telling everybody about it later. And that email never came. And so we were like, and I was very conflicted because I've never walked away from $750 before. I've bought some stupid stuff. Like, I've wasted money on, like, plants and stuff before. Like, non-essential, frivolous things. But I had my stupid crap to show for it. Like, I'm like, look at all this stupid crap I bought. And Randy's like, yeah, good job, I guess. Like, but I had my stupid crap in hand. I've never walked away from that much money before. But it's like, we were like, if we go, we're taking 3 days off of time that we could be spending on other projects, which isn't money in hand, but it's if I'm making tutorials, if I'm making stuff for the Etsy shop, if I'm working on, you know, fulfilling Patreon and, you know, these other things. We have a lot of different facets to our company. It was also our last weekend with Maddie. It was also, you know, we were going to have to spend $200 to $300 on a hotel room and on any additional food for the weekend. The hotel we had booked, like, we booked like 8 months in advance for some of these shows because, like, Anime St. Louis, another really good convention that I still hope we're able to do. Like, it's one that we're like, it's juried, so we always have our fingers crossed hoping that we'll be able to get back in. If we don't book that hotel like 8 months out, it's sold out and we have to stay somewhere like 3 miles away. So we try to book the hotel soon, like as soon as possible. So we had booked it for TNT thinking, yeah, we got in and, you know, this is going to be great. And then it's like 15 miles away from the con hotel or where the convention had gotten moved to. And
no. Originally it was in another town. And then the 6 months mark, we changed to a different venue.
Yeah, it was, and then we changed you're right.
They lost that venue. And yeah.
It was FUBAR. So we were like, we're still within the cancellation window for the hotel. Like, we could, instead of going in and trying to invest more and losing even more money, we're like, we could just cut our losses. Because if it costs $1,500 to do a convention, which is not uncommon after booth fee, travel, hotels, food, electricity, we have to sell $1,500 worth of inventory before we start making a profit. And so if we cost us 1,500 to be there and we only sell 1,250, we would have been better off giving that inventory away for free, because that's basically like does that make sense? Like, I'm not explaining it well, I don't think, but we were like, we're gonna have to, yeah, we're not getting ahead, and that's the whole point of doing a convention. Is, you know, we sell our stuff for a little bit less than what we would on our Etsy, but if we move a lot there in person and, you know, get over that point, then it's like, okay, we've made back the money that we've invested in this event, and then we start racking up more on top of it, and it's like, all right. But it's just getting to a point that it's taking too much of an investment, and it's getting too risky for some of these conventions. From a vending perspective, we may actually transfer back over to doing more arts and crafts shows, because they're free for attendees to go to instead of, you know, having to pay $50 to be somewhere. But I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Oh, holy crap. Well, thanks, Lords. That's not why I'm talking about the money and stuff, but thank you. Um, yeah, it's a headache, Linda, for sure. So I just made it better for a minute or two, then not at all. Well, hey, I'm sorry. Yeah, we're yeah, trying to stock up on Etsy. I don't know, everything feels like the rugs are shifting underneath our feet, and it's just kind of like trying to figure out what to do next and how to keep on keeping on, because the answer for so long has been, well, we'll just work harder. Oh, there's only so many hours in the day, and there's only so much, you know, a person can do before it starts to feel like too much, you know. So we will see how things go, but I've started I feel some days I feel surrendered to it, and like I just want to get back to the core of just focus on just teaching, because, you know, that teaching has value in any, you know, market. And then there's other days when I'm like, I don't think I'm gonna have to work until the day I die. Like, I hope my hands keep working. I hope my eyesight doesn't give out too soon. Like, you know, so just kind of, you know, experiencing that roller coaster of existential dread. Keep on keeping on. Twisted asks to the entire chat, is Etsy worth doing? I'm actually very specifically pool pro trying to not abuse alcohol in this instance, because I would turn into an alkie so fast. And I'm trying to stop abusing food in that instance as well. Right on, Lisa. Yeah, it's hard to tell. For me, Etsy is worth doing, even with the weird stuff that they're doing with like the free shipping and stuff. It's like Etsy has been a great platform for me, because I don't rely on Etsy to promote and advertise what I'm doing. I rely on YouTube, I rely on Facebook and Instagram. Like, those are my platforms that I promote through, and I aim for a quality audience, which y'all are like the best. I can't even emphasize that enough. But I focus on quality over quantity. Like, I would rather have like 100 followers who are actually interested in seeing what I'm making, and who are like, you know, inclined to shop or give feedback, or even like, there's so many of y'all that you're like, I don't have any money, I can't buy this from you, I think it's beautiful, and you share it. And, you know, and just doing that, it's like, there's no paid advertisement on the planet that could even compete with how great of fans as y'all are. Like, I can't emphasize that enough. I could not do what I do if it weren't for you guys and your enthusiasm for what Randy and I do here, and for your support and encouragement and feedback and just everything. So Etsy is worth doing, but it's not the end all be all. For me, the end all be all is y'all. So focusing on finding like-minded people and a community, and building a community, like finding your tribe, like, I feel like I want to try my best to take care of y'all, teach y'all everything that I can to make your careers more profitable, to make your art happen more freely and be more in the flow of just making things and enjoying it. Like, I want to share that stuff with y'all. And then everything else kind of just fell in place after it. And that's some hippie crap, I'm sure. But like, by not focusing on the capitalism part of running a business, has helped me to have a more successful business, because whenever we're just focusing and griping and freaking out about the money aspect, now don't get me wrong, there's always, like, of all the hamsters running on their wheels in my head, there's one that has on the green visor and the straps on his shirt, and he's doing the accounting and crunching the numbers and, trying to be heard over the other hamsters that are like, giveaway time, like throwing out free jewelry like it's confetti, and, trying, to just kind of do their thing. Sorry, I was just picturing my hamsters partying. But yeah, it's like the business side of our business is always in the back of my mind, but we try to be more than that, because at the end of the day, I've spent the money. I've bought more beads. I've paid the bills. Hey, Maddie. I hope you had a good day at school. Is it? Yeah, it's a Thursday. There's school today. But at the end of the day, what's left over is this that we have with each other and stuff. So, and that's a wealth that banks can't hold, that, there's no taxes on. So, cheers to everybody who is a part of this, because this is a dream that, as somebody who just recently turned 31, sorry, I'm excited about being alive. I'm in a place in my life that I could have never, thinking back to a decade ago, whenever I had turned 21, like, I had my dreams and goals and stuff, and I could have never dreamed a dream as amazing as what y'all have helped Randy and I to accomplish. So, I'm done. Like, I guess I'll get off that soapbox, but I really do want to thank you guys. Like, there is not a giveaway today. We will be resuming giveaways after Dragon. Hashtag after Dragon. Oh yeah, I'm totally a baby, Lisa. Like, 31, I remember when that was old. When I was 10 and even 15, I was like, oh my god, this is adult. Ugh. Like, and now I'm like, oh my god, I am not as, is this being a grown up? Like, I called an accountant, because we started the Craft Along LLC, and I wanted to, get everything, right, and, be, professional grown-up. Like, I still have this, idea in my head of, what it is to be a professional grown-up adult. And so I'm like, oh, I gotta do grown-up things. And then I call them, and I'm like, you don't know what you're doing either. And then we met, the sales lady, for the hotel and stuff. And it's like, grown-ups are just people, too. I'm still getting used to that. Does anybody else, I don't know, does anybody else experience that? Where it's I'm still, even at 31, experiencing that shift of wait, you're a grown-up. Why are you, oh no. We're all like this. Ah! So, yeah, heaven says it never stops. That kind of seems to be the general consensus that we're running into, which is good news, because I'm like, hey, that takes a lot of pressure off. Mom told me a secret when I was a kid. Your brain does not age, it matures. Ooh. Mine's fermenting, I'm pretty sure.
Yours gonna mature.
So what?
When's yours gonna mature?
It's not. It's fermenting. It's leaking out of my ear. Yeah. And I had talked to my bonus dad, Fred, who is, I could not have ended up with, I've been so lucky to have just the best men in my life. My Randy, my dad, my bonus dad, they're just very excellent people that I'm blessed to have around me. But he was talking to me, he's like, wow, is 70 now? 75? I don't know. He's like, I'm still 18 in here. Like, I'm just like, my body's doing this. Why is this happening? You know, so it's that kind of, it's very eye-opening to get to talk to other grown-ups and find out that I'm not quite so alone and just kind of bumbling around, bumping into things, trying to stay fed and keep my bills paid. Right on, Pool Pro. Well, happy early birthday. Yes, I was on a museum board, and a bunch of members that had been on the board for years knew less than I did. Right, and I had this, like, perception of especially professional adults that it's like the business suit wearing, briefcase toting, like, and I'm convinced that that's just a cosplay. Like, they're just dressing up as professional adults. Like, we're all still just like overgrown teenagers on the inside. Underneath all of those layers, we're still just like lonely, confused, like, someone please feed me and clean my house, like, on the inside. So gotcha, Linda. I'm always looking for new places to go look for crystals. Right on, Crafticus. Once you get past 50, we don't have senior moments, we have intellectual interludes. So far, I've only given away my creations. Everyone says I need to sell them on Etsy, but I don't know. And D, I'm going to say something that I think sometimes I need to hear. Not everything that you do has to be for money. If you just like making stuff and just want to give it away, that can bring you more joy than what money can buy. Like, it truly can. Like, you know, so sometimes selling is not for everyone. Sometimes the stress of the business side of it, like trying to make sure that you're turning a profit, or like, you know, giving away something to a friend, but like maybe they aren't in the best financial situation, so it's, you feel bad for selling it to them. Like, selling stuff comes with a whole lot of perks, mainly money, but it also comes with a whole lot of like stressors and complications. And wow, Carol, that's amazing. And so it's not everything that you do has to be for a profit or for money. There's so much to life beyond the spectrum of capitalism. And that's something that I keep trying to bring myself back to the core to, which is difficult running a business because, oof, I need that dollar. But it's just at the core of all of this, I just like making stuff. If I had all the money in the world, which would be nice, I'm just saying, like, if I was filthy rich, I'd like to try that. Like, I'm just saying, like, I'm not gonna turn my nose up to a bucket of money if somebody's like, you win the lottery, or you've worked hard your whole life, here's some, you know, money for that. That'd be cool. But at the core of it, at the end of the day, I would still come home and make stuff. I just like it. It makes my bitter little heart happy. So, so yeah, so if, you know, take it as a compliment that people say that, you know, you should, oh, this is so good, you should sell your stuff. But don't feel like, unless it's really in your heart to follow that calling, don't feel like you have to. Even when I did hair professionally, I'd give services away, or if they suffered through client, got free haircut. Right on. That's cool, Nixie. I have carry bags full of jewelry I've made. I hate selling items, not because I don't want to. I hate pricing with stuff. I would rather give it. And that's 100% okay. It's just, I don't know, everything in this, everything that I experience, and maybe it's just the lens that I, you know, experience life through, but it seems to be so, like, you know, there's a song by Bo Burnham called Art is Dead, and it's from a comedian standpoint, but it's like there's a line to it that's like, so people think you're funny, how do we get those people's money? And it's like talking about, like, you know, you can't just do what you do, you gotta do it, you gotta hustle it. And I'm like, ugh, like, don't get me wrong, it feels great to be able to do what I love for a living, but sometimes I want to, you know, be living for what I love, like flip it the other way around. So yeah, right. But so I don't know, just some thoughts as I go and try to crank out a whole bunch of inventory for Dragon. I'm such a hypocrite, it's disgusting. But no, it's keep doing what you do, you guys, and I think I'm gonna get back to work, figure out how to keep this from happening with the grimy stuff. So I do. Susan. I do. I love art like breathing. It's it's just fun. Check email. Okay, Penny. But yeah, thanks for hanging out with me, you guys. Have a wonderful day, and I will see y'all in our next video, which should be coming out this Saturday. But until then,
I will not be here on Tuesday.
yeah, Randy's got jury duty again. On Tuesday. So we will see y'all next time. Happy crafting. Bye. How do I get this to? There it goes. Okay.